Let's go through and understand new WCAG 2.2 criterion. WCAG 2.2 is the latest version of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, published in June 2021. The guidelines are organized into 4 principles: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust, POUR. The article post on the W3C website provides an overview of the new success criteria that were added in WCAG 2.2. https://www.w3.org/tr/WCAG 22/. WCAG 2.2 includes 12 new success criteria that are intended to address accessibility issues that were not covered in previous versions. The new success criteria are designed to improve the accessibility of web content for people with disabilities, and to make it easier for web developers and designers to create accessible content. Here is a brief summary of the 12 new success criteria included in WCAG 2.2, as described in the W3C article. 2.4.11 Focus Appearance, Minimum. This success criterion requires that the focus indicator for interactive user interface components must have a visible appearance, with a minimum contrast ratio of 3:1 against the adjacent colors. 2.4.12 Focus Appearance Enhanced. This success criterion requires that the focus indicator for interactive user interface components must have a visible appearance, with a minimum contrast ratio of 4.5:1 against the adjacent colors. 2.6.6 Orientation. This success criterion requires that web content must not restrict its view and operation to a single display orientation unless it is essential to the functionality or information. 2.6.7 Hidden Controls. His success criterion requires that the user interface components must not be hidden or obscured unless it is essential to the functionality or information. 2.6.8 Pointer Target Spacing. This success criterion requires that the spacing between the interactive user interface components must be sufficient for users to easily activate them using a pointer device. 2.6.9 Pointer Target Spacing, Enhanced. This success criterion requires that the spacing between the interactive user interface components must be sufficient for users to easily activate them using a pointer device with smaller target sizes. 2.6.10 Section Headings. This success criterion requires that section headings must be used to organize the content of web pages, applications, or sections of content within them. 2.6.11 Accessible Authentication. This success criterion requires that authentication mechanisms must be accessible to people with disabilities, including those who use assistive technologies. 2.6.12 Text Spacing. This success criterion requires that text must have sufficient spacing between characters, words, and lines, making it easier to read for people with low vision. 4.1.3 Status Messages. This success criterion requires that status messages must be programmatically determinable and available to assistive technologies. 4.1.4 Character Key Shortcuts. This success criterion requires that keyboard shortcuts must not require input of characters that are not supported by the user's input method. 4.1.5 Status Changes. This success criterion requires that changes in content or status of web pages or applications must be available to assistive technologies. Overall, the article highlights the importance of WCAG 2.2 in improving the accessibility of web content for people with disabilities, and provides valuable guidance for web developers and designers who are looking to create more inclusive and accessible web experiences. Please note, the new success criteria for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG 2.2 in proposal state. WCAG 2.2 is scheduled to be completed and published in May 2023.